Thank you for watching. I love religious liberty. And this video is going to be me talking about things that are a violation of either the United States Constitution's guaranteed rights, the principle behind that right that I believe every country should have. So when I'm advocating for the principle, I'm advocating for the principle. There's a difference between violating a constitutional right and violating the principle. So if you're not in the United States of America and the government in your country has done something to you, I can't say they violated your constitutional right, but I can say I believe they violated your human right, or the principle that should be in place. Or some of these things are just a violation of our basic getting along with each other. Alright, we should be able to get along with each other. We should not be rude to each other. If you disagree with that, then shut up the next time somebody's rude to you, if you think it's alright for us to be rude to each other. Alright, let's start with forced participation. Nobody should be forced. Now there's a difference between a child being raised by their parents when they're still not an adult and the parents saying, "You're 8 years old, you're not deciding, we're going to church today." That's okay. I don't think that's a 12-year-old child's parents who say, "Hey, we're this religion, you want to be that religion? Do it when you're an adult." I don't think their rights are being violated by a parent doing that. But there have been people who forced other people to be at their religion or their religious ceremony. A wedding is a religious ceremony. But some idiot is saying, but some people go to justice of the peace. No, it's just a contract between two people. No, if majority of people throughout history have gone to a church for it, if there are religious implications and beliefs about it, it's a religious ceremony. Sometimes not going to church for something that other people go to a church for is, in and of itself, making a statement. So, in world history, recent world history, when people have been fined, imprisoned, their property taken because they refused to go to a wedding or a wedding party or be a part of that, and they didn't take any money from people. They were trying to leave the people alone. And they were a florist, a cake maker, a photographer, or an artist who did beautiful decorated cards. And they were forced, or at least there was an attempt made to force them to endorse a marriage that they disagreed with, to go to the marriage or go to the party or reception or celebration for that marriage. Their rights were violated. I promise, okay, I'm not going to get married anytime soon under my current circumstances. I will be surprised if my circumstances change. My wife is in good health. So if I make a promise about my wedding, that would be an unlikely hypothetical scenario. My son getting married is a more likely hypothetical scenario. I promise you, if my son gets married in the temple, which is what God wants us to do, I will not file a complaint against you or sue you if you do any service, if your business is any service that could be useful to us in celebrating his wedding. Now, you would not be able to go inside of the temple if you're not in my religion, but anything to celebrate that wedding would still be a part of it. And so, if you're a photographer and you don't want to be a photographer for our wedding, that's alright. That is your religious right to not be a part of our religious ceremony, and I will not sue you or file a complaint or try to find some government agency to punish you and take your house from you. A wedding cake maker If you bake wedding cakes and you find out about my religious beliefs, and by default that of my son because he's of the same religion, and you don't want to be a part of that wedding because you find our beliefs so, I don't know, I don't think our beliefs are that bad that it would make sense for you to not want to be a part of it. But if you do, it's your right, and I will not file a complaint and try to get your business taken away from you. It's your right. And let's see, on to other things. There is a television show named Chopped that I do not like to watch, but I've seen a lot of it because my wife watches it. This show is a reality cooking contest show. They start off with 4 contestants, and they have to cook. They are given mystery ingredients that they find out right then at the start of each round. Must be in the dish that they cook. They're given a time limit. A contestant is chopped. Maybe that's where they got the idea for the name. Not literally body chopped up, but they're out of the show. They're chopped out of the show, taken out of the show. If at the end of each round, one person gets taken out until you end up with one winner. Some of the things in the mystery ingredients baskets have been things that are against my religion, and I've never seen one of the contestants be of my religion, so I don't know what the TV show would do if somebody said, I believe God says never drink that. I'm not putting it in. I don't know what the show would do. I have seen a vegetarian, and they commented on how brave or hard it was for him to cook with the meat when he's a vegetarian. But they didn't say he was a vegetarian because he was a Sikh or a Buddhist or a Jain. So I don't know if they were, but he ended up cooking with the meat. I don't know what they would have done with him if he would have said, I am a Jain, that's why I will not eat the meat, I will not cook it either. This falls under the category of our peaceful coexisting and just being civilized with each other. You should not be forced to cook with something that's against your religious beliefs if it is some kind of a contest where you are making your own dish. If it's your creation, you should not be forced to cook something that is a violation of your religious beliefs. So there's that subject. Now, it is a violation of your right to freedom of religion if you're forced to believe something. And there's one religion that's very predominant in science classrooms in the United States of America, and that is the religion of evolutionism. For something to be scientific, it should be something that has actually been seen, or the direct results of it. Like radiation, we know it exists because we see the results of it. Even if with our naked eyes, we don't see the individual particles. That's what should be in science classrooms. Stuff that has been learned by observation and testing, and there are so many things that fit that category. It does not make sense to include in science textbooks in the public high school classroom, maybe any classroom. Put some things in philosophy textbooks, philosophy classes, and religion classes. If it's about what happened long, long ago, far away, that we're not seeing happen now. If it's not happening now, it's not been observed, it's not scientific. But the religion of evolutionism, it's in science textbooks. It's violating the Establishment Clause. And some questions I've seen from science classes and science textbooks are written in such a way that it's forcing the student to proclaim evolutionism, and not just asking them, what is the understanding of this philosophy about this? Okay. People should get their religious days off from work. unless we're talking about like the police department or an emergency room at the hospital, your rights are not being violated if you are signed up to be a police officer. Do you really think God demands society to have like nobody there catching the bad guys? Nobody working at the prison and let the dangerous people hopefully not get out while they're left alone for a day? Come on now. But if you're like working at a store, stores don't need to be open 7 days a week. As long as you're not demanding to get paid for your time off, your boss should give you your religious day off. So that's how I look at days off. Uniforms, it would be a violation of your religious rights if, like, they don't let you button up all of your uniform buttons to cover up your sacred undershirt. Come on now. Is it really that big a problem if they don't want to have the top button open and expose their sacred underwear? Your headgear, religious headgear, as long as it's not like obscuring your face where your business would want people to know who they worked with, or obscuring your face if a government agency demands that people are able to identify which person they dealt with in case a complaint needs to be made. You know, whatever you want up here shouldn't bug anyone. You should get to wear whatever you want, as long as it's not, you know, hanging down in the food at a restaurant where you're cooking, or keeping the people from knowing who they're working with, who's serving them, or who they're interacting with if it's a government agency. Alright. Hidden camera videos. The ones I can think of that I've heard of are temple videos of the temples of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. But any religion that has sacred religious ceremonies that only the initiated are allowed to come to, only those who are followers are allowed to come to, should not be recorded with hidden cameras. You're being rude if you watch such a video. You're being even more rude if you do that. And you're being rude if you are something like YouTube that claims you want community guidelines and peaceful coexistence, and you let that stuff on? No, those... Oh, any video channel, a video hosting website that lets hidden camera videos that do not expose crime or corruption beyond there is violating this principle of just getting along with each other and not being rude to each other. You don't need to see that stuff. I don't want to see that stuff if you have a religion that has some ceremony that would seem weird to me. As long as that ceremony does not involve any kind of violence, planning violence, doing violence, raping little girls or raping little boys, as long as you're not doing something bad like that, there should be no secret camera, hidden camera recordings. And I refuse to watch such a recording if there is one out there. All of you should refuse to watch them too. And if you see them on YouTube, get far enough along in that video to flag it and report it, because YouTube should not let stuff like that on. And in case there's any buttheads, you're a really bad person if you think it's good to have hidden camera videos of sacred things. How about if we get a hidden camera video of your sex life? Whoa. Now, what if the person is saying, but? No, you got no room to talk there. If you don't want YouTube to shut down that channel that has hidden camera temple videos and any other equivalent channel and any other videos of other religions, then you've got zero room to complain. If somebody gets a camera into your bedroom and gets you and your spouse making whoopee, making love to spread to the public. All right. Thank you for watching this video. Let's respect everybody's rights, everyone's freedom of religion, and let's not be rude to each other. You have a good day.